All right, there's one more James I want to do. However, here is the first ever actual AVGN episode. Here is, before we get to the next James. Before we get to the next James, here's the bonus.
Well, this is the Nintendo Miracle Piano. I don't really know if I can give a bad review about this because I'm just kind of confused about it. Like, the fact that Nintendo would actually make something like this. Nintendo's come up with everything. The robot, they've come up with the
robot,
the power pad,
look at that Shanghai
the power
Noon
glove,
poster.
all these accessories, and I guess just to even all out, they had to come up with this keyboard.
Okay, fun fact about most of the Nintendo peripherals, most of them were just licensed and not actually made by Nintendo. So Miracle Piano, made by the Software 2 Works. U-Force, made by Bruderbund. Power Glove, made by Mattel. And Laser Scope. Power Pad by Bandai. And yeah, Power Glove was actually done by... Oh yeah, I already mentioned Power Glove by Mattel. And then Laser Scope, Konami. But anyways, I digress. Semantics. All right.
Let's start the game.
Start the game. Are you a kid or are you a...
child or adult?
Well, child, obviously. Welcome to the
Gaga.
Miracle Piano
I'm
teaching
a
system.
kid.
You are looking at the
No, I'm not.
chalkboard. What the hell?
Sure.
Chalkboards make you think of school. Kids don't like school. And who are the target audience for this game? Kids.
Moms.
Then you gotta do all these finger positions. Well, I'd give it a finger. The middle finger.
Kids won't have the
I would
patience for
love
this.
this. I need a synthesizer.
I'm serious. I don't get this.
What is there to get? Mi, fa, sol.
I really don't know what to say about this because I can't really give a bad review of something that's not really like a game. And I really don't get this foot pedal. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything.
It's to change
it
the
ain't
octave.
doing fucking shit.
It's to change the octaves.
Robo-Man?
Robo-Man. He has a name.
Oh, Robo-Man fell.
He's fucking dead.
Robo-Man, Robo-Man.
Robo-Man, Robo-Man.
Robo-Man, what the fuck is this shit?
Play the song right or the robot dies. Rhythm can be
I don't get it.
tricky. Always funny. Always funny. Oh, he's dead. Just seeing the robot die a horrible death is always funny. Oops, the timing is a
You would
little
think
off.
controlling a robot would be cool, but it's not cool. Look at this. It's complete garbage. I keep falling. And I don't know
Play
what
the
I'm
song
doing
right,
wrong.
or the robot
I mean,
dies.
this is pathetic. What a piece of shit. It's impossible. So why am I playing it? I'm not going to punish myself anymore with this. It's just not worth it.
Bravo.
It would be a miracle if I could figure out this miracle piece of shit.
This game is for somebody who's like locked in a cave and has nothing else to do.
I
Oh,
mean,
and
he'll
look at
come
this.
out- Well, the
This is
duck
what everyone
game-
does when they learn piano. Shoot ducks or whatever. I mean,
Come
what
on.
the hell were they thinking with this shit?
What were they thinking?
Shoot the ducks. Shoot the ducks. Shoot the ducks.
Ducks. Shoot the
Oh,
ducks.
shoot the ducks. Shoot the ducks.
Oh, he's doing the thing. He's shooting ducks with the piano. He's shooting ducks with the piano. They're getting away.
You're pounding, not playing. Maybe you're fuddled or frustrated. Take a breather and try again.
Yeah, settle down, okay? Settle down, okay?
Oh, you think? What a joke.
This game, whatever the fuck this is, makes me feel like I have diarrhea coming out of my fucking dick. I want to fuck it with a laser.
Yeah. And yeah, that was the Lost AVGN episode. That's kind of cool, kind of crazy. Nice. Give me a sec though, because there's more. But yeah, that's enough of that Lost episode. Time for the Virtua Boy. Wowee, the Virtual Boy. It's a boy in the virtual world. Oh, February 19th. Oh yeah.
To play the shitty games that suck ass, he'd rather have
Boom.
a buffalo.
Heck yeah.
Take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game
Nerd. The Virtua Boy.
It's the mid-90s. Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis were
Oh,
the two big
yeah.
competitors. The 16-bit era was coming to an end.
God, look at
while the
that
next generation consoles were on
interlacing.
their way. The Sega Saturn, the PlayStation, and the Nintendo 64
Oh,
were ready
hell
to hit
yeah.
the scene. The graphics were
Two-
getting
two of
better,
those
and
three.
video game companies were racing
out of
their
three of
technology
those.
to a never-ending finish line.
PlayStation and Saturn.
During the ongoing delay of the Nintendo 64, Nintendo announced a new product to fill the time and
Whoa,
continue their successful
the
line of portable
Virtual
game
Boy.
systems, beginning with the Game & Watch games and the Game Boy. The
Heck
product,
yeah.
originally dubbed VR32, would become known as the
VR32,
Virtual Boy.
the
It made
Virtual
use
Boy.
of 3D technology where each eye would see two separate
Wow.
screens and create the illusion of three-dimensional depth. Virtual reality seemed like the way of the future.
Heck
Just the
yeah.
idea of feeling like you were in the game was an awesome concept.
It
But
really
instead,
is.
it turned out to be
It
the
even is
grand
to
mother load of shit.
It even is to this day.
The first problem was that it was marketed as a portable system. Yeah, portable. My ass is
Yeah, that
portable.
doesn't look very
You could barely
portable.
find a comfortable way to play this big red ugly piece of shit at home, let alone bring it somewhere. Like you couldn't play in a car or something like that. And come to think of it, you wouldn't want to play this thing in public anyway. You'd look like an asshole.
Alright, now to find a good sitting position to play this. It's easier to find a shitting position that's easier than this. Well, on your back, like in the poster. Nope. I guess flatten your stomach. Oh. Yeah. There you go. Just tape it on over your eyes.
Why isn't there a head strap? Let's think
That
about
must
this.
really
This
hurt.
must be one of the worst designs for any invention in history. It's basically a pair of goggles on a stand. To me, that translates to a pair of eyeballs on legs. The controller's really weird too. It has two
It's pretty
D-pads
innovative,
and the
though.
battery pack is attached to it. You can swap it with an AC adapter, but when you're playing on a table, it can come loose and shut off your game.
Damn.
The 3D effects are hard to focus and they strain your eyes. There was even a warning on the box that said it could cause headaches and seizures.
Oh, that is absolutely true. If you actually try to play an analog of this through, I don't know, through either a VR headset or the Nintendo shell, the Switch shell, or the cardboard shells, yeah, when you play them, they get real fucking. It's really weird. Like everything's just blue when you're just staring at red and black.
That's great, right? It's like the cherry on the shit sundae. How would you like to play bad games and have a headache too?
I mean, most of them
but
are not that
before I
bad.
say the games are bad, let's take an honest look. Unfortunately, the only way I can record these games is to zoom into the eyepiece, so please excuse the guerrilla-style videography.
Yep. it
Let's
is
begin with
indeed
Mario's
strange.
Tennis. This was one of the first Virtual Boy games to be released, and it's usually the first one that most people have played. It starts out with Mario hitting a tennis ball right into your face. The 3D effect is actually pretty effective, but without experiencing the actual game, you can't see it. Now, the main thing that disappointed everybody right from the beginning was the fact that the games are all in red and black. Now, the original Game Boy was in black and white, or black and greenish yellow, whatever, but the Virtual Boy was supposed to be cutting edge, so it was fair to expect it to be in color. What a letdown.
I mean,
Now,
it was
as for the game
cheaper.
itself, it's just tennis, but with a selection of Mario characters.
It's just
not
tennis
bad,
with Mario
but nothing
characters.
special. The big problem for
It's
me
just
personally,
tennis.
what the hell kind of virtual reality game is this? I don't feel like I'm on the court interacting. I would have expected this to be in a first-person perspective. The whole idea of virtual reality is to simulate the experience of the game like you're actually in the environment. It's supposed to feel like reality.
Hence the term.
term virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
Here's another one, Galactic Pinball.
And
Well, it's
yeah,
just a pinball game with a space theme.
Welcome
the
to
3D
Space
effects
World.
are pretty shallow on this one. Nothing ever really comes up in your face. To use the paddles, you hit the buttons on the bottom of the controller, which feels like using a real pinball machine, but you expect to be able to hit the button harder to hit the ball harder. So in the long run, it just makes you wish you were playing a real pinball machine instead, or anything other than this. I feel like I'm taking an eye exam. And speaking of that, my eyes are starting to hurt already. If you play this long enough and go blind, you can really become the pinball wizard. Okay, now we have Teleroboxer. Kind of like Rock'em Sock'em
Hell
Robots.
yeah.
And holy shit, it's a first-person perspective.
actual
this is a
first-person
little more
game.
like
Now,
virtual
this is
reality.
virtual.
The gameplay is pretty much the same as Punch-Out. You can punch to the face, punch to the body, hook, uppercut, duck, dodge, and you can make use of both D-pads, which individually control each arm. So you can block with one arm and punch with the other at the same time. It's not bad.
It's very
and the 3D
high.
effects are cool, especially when your opponent
Very
knocks
high
you out.
skill.
Next up, Red Alarm. Well,
Oh.
red is right. All
yeah,
the games should
red,
have had red in the
alright.
title.
Oh,
It's
it's
basically
red,
a flying
alright.
game like Star Fox. Remember what the graphics look like on Star Fox?
Wow, it's
Everything
Legos.
was a polygon. But imagine that in red and black without any rendered shapes whatsoever. Everything's just a wireframe. It looks like a game that hasn't been finished. Worst of all, it's disorienting. If only there was some kind of texture, you'd be able to see where
Yeah,
the
you'd
boundaries
wish
are.
they'd had
But without
texture,
it,
but
you're just flying around
it's
with a
not.
bunch of lines. Often I think I'm flying into an opening, but then I just find I'm butting against a wall. Look at this. Where am I supposed to go?
That's how it be.
One thing that's cool is that you can switch camera angles. I choose the POV because, after all, isn't this
Oh.
supposed to be virtual reality? Unfortunately, Red Alarm and Teleroboxer are the only two Virtual Boy games to have this feature.
Red Alarm by Teeny
Next
Soft.
up is Wario Land. You take control
yes,
of Wario
the
with
best
one basic
game.
goal, reach the end of each level. Along the way, you gotta
Best
find
Virtual
keys to
Boy
open
game.
doors,
The
collect
only
treasures,
good
and fight
Virtual
enemies.
Boy
You stomp
game.
on them, throw them, or dash into
Aside
them.
from the
There's
obvious.
also parts where you can leap into the background,
Wow.
obviously trying to
Wow,
cater
it's like
to the
Pizza
3D
Tower.
gimmick. But it's actually
Anton
a good game.
Blast.
Damn good. But only one problem. It's on Virtual Boy.
Yep.
Next, we have Panic Bomber.
Very
It's
true.
a puzzle game, and a decent one, I might add. Basically, things fall down, and you gotta match
Whoa,
3 of a kind
Panic
in a row,
Bomber.
in a column, or diagonal. The match pieces disappear, and you get bombs. When a lit bomb falls, you can use it to blow up the other bombs. Now, I have one question. Why
What?
in the holy mother of fuck does this need to be on Virtual Boy? It's a puzzle game.
I don't
This
know.
is the kind of thing that belongs on Game Boy. Not only is there nothing remotely 3D or virtual reality based,
Yeah,
you can only play it
I guess
alone.
Hudson just
Aren't
really
puzzle
wanted to
games
back
most
the
fun when you have
technology,
friends to play
and
with?
That's it.
Well, Virtual Boy actually had an extension port for a multiplayer cable. It would have been used to link two Virtual Boys, much like the Game Boy did. But the only
Wow.
problem, they never released the cable or made any games that supported it because the Virtual Boy sucked so hard it was retired before such a thing could be released.
Damn.
Next, we're up to Mario Clash.
Mario
Every
Clash.
Nintendo console had its own definitive
Gotta have a
Mario
Mario.
title, and this you would
That
hope
isn't
would
tennis,
be decent. But what you
or
get
just
is
tennis.
basically a remake of the original 1983 Mario Brothers arcade. Each
Oh.
level is just one screen, and the goal is to knock out all the enemies, except for the Koopas. You stomp on them and use their shells to throw at the other enemies.
Oh.
Some of the enemies, like the ones with the 3 spikes on their back, have to be killed from a distance. So it's basically Mario Brothers with the background and foreground.
Nice.
What bothers me about this game is just one simple problem.
What is
they
it?
swapped the buttons. B is
Oh,
jump
oh,
and A
right.
throw shells. How did they fuck
Why?
up the controls for
Why?
a Mario game?
Why is it
change
like
what
that?
we grew up with? Why change what's been firmly planted in our brains since childhood? There's also a bonus stage, and look what we have here.
What?
Texture. It's nice to
Texture?
see a floor that's fully
Rendered
rendered for once.
graphics?
Overall,
Oh my
Mario
God.
Clash isn't bad, but it's repetitive, and it goes on for 99 levels,
Oh
probably
God,
making it the
that's-
longest Virtual Boy game. And since it causes eye strain, it shouldn't be finished in one sitting. Next, Nestor's
Yeah,
Funky
good
Bowl.
fucking luck with that because it's like, because again, there's no save feature. So, yeah, good luck, asshole.
Bowling. Any subscriber to Nintendo Power knows who Nestor is, and this is probably the only game he's ever been in. All I can say is, it's bowling. That's what it is. But I don't know what's so funky
It's
about
bowling
it. It's just
on the
an
virtual
average
bowl.
bowling
That's
game
what-
with the same
no, that's
10
what
pins
makes it so
over
bowling.
and over. The
That's what makes it
animation
so
on Nestor's
funky.
reactions is pretty fun to watch, but other than that, there's not much to say.
That's what makes it
Okay,
funky.
next
because
is
it's on the
Virtual
Virtual
League
Boy.
Baseball. You bat, you run, you pitch, you catch, you run, you throw.
Hey.
It's baseball.
It's
The music is pretty
baseball.
cool, and you get a nice 3D effect when it shows the field. Kind of like you're
Wow.
sitting in the seats, almost like a virtual reality
Like
feel.
an actual
When it
virtual
comes to
reality
batting,
game.
the hit detection is kind of awkward, and when you're in the outfield, it's like you need a microscope to see the players.
What is this, a
It's
game
such
for
a strange
ants?
sensation to be controlling sprites the size of ants, kind of like North and South on NES. Now let's do Vertical Force. This one is a
Vertical
2D
Force.
shooter, kind of
Heck
like
yeah.
Galaga, 1942, or R-Type.
Or
It's a
Super
genre
Star-
that's
or
classic,
Star Soldier.
as classic as a good old TV screen. The only 3D part
Or
is that you can
perhaps
switch
even,
between two different
Star
altitudes,
Soldier.
so it's kind of like 2D, 3D. Sometimes you gotta fly up or down to avoid obstacles, but most of the time you can just stay where you are. The 3D effect isn't even that deep anyway. This is another perfect example of a game that doesn't need to be on Virtual Boy. Next is golf. That's
I mean,
it, just
T&E
golf.
Soft-
Of all the games with this
T&E
title,
Soft
I'd stick to
worked
golf on
on-
NES. You pick your club, you line up your shots, and that's about it.
And there you
Just
go.
the idea of playing an 18-hole course on this makes me sick.
Imagine playing Virtual Highlight on this. Because, yeah, fun fact, did you know that T&E Soft repurposed their golf engine to make Virtual Highlight? So, theoretically, with a little bit of elbow grease and reverse engineering, you could probably make a port of Virtual Highlight for the Virtual Boy. Now that is virtual.
The graphics are decent, but they beg to be in green and black rather than red and black. Well, it would be nice if it was in color, but let me tell you, if there's one color that I imagine when it comes to golf, it's fucking anything but red. Next, we have 3D Tetris.
Wow,
Now, anyone
3D
who's familiar with
Tetris.
Tetris will
Hell
immediately
yeah.
understand the concept. Blocks fall down, and you have to put them together.
Everyone
without
knows how
leaving
to play
gaps.
Tetris.
Anytime you fill a whole row, they
think it's
disappear.
the only
and
game that
difference
my
is that it's in
mom
3D,
plays,
but that means it
and my
moves
parents
along a lot
play.
slower because there's a lot more space to fill.
It's the
A
only
and B
game
buttons
my
turn the
parents
blocks
actually
around in the second
played.
dimension, while the right
That and
D-pad flips
Pac-Man.
them in the third dimension.
That and
the left
Pac-Man.
D-pad moves the pieces around to where you want to drop them, and it works quite well.
Yeah, it's
3D
pretty cool.
Tetris
It's like
and
Blockout.
Tower Boxer are the only two Virtual Boy games that use both D-pads to do something different. Until the blocks drop down, they're
entirely
transparent,
true.
and they have little shadows to
Not
help you tell where
entirely
they're going to
true.
land. Also,
Jack
the layout
Bros
keeps
and
moving,
Ins-
so they
Innsmouth no
basically tried
Yukata
everything they
also
could so that
use-
you won't get confused, but still, it's
They
a little
both
hard to
use,
tell what you're doing. The 3D aspect isn't even very unique. They could have made a game like this on just about any other console at the time. While the Virtual Boy does place parts of the graphics in front of other parts, the blocks here are just two-dimensional shapes drawn to give the feeling of the third dimension without actually doing so. It's like if I just draw on a piece of paper. There, that's 3D.
Whoa,
I'd
a
say just stick to regular
freakahedron.
Tetris.
Yeah.
Well, now we save the worst for last. It's
Oh
Waterworld.
boy.
Now, let's just stop for a moment and
Waterworld.
take this in, okay?
All right.
Waterworld
Waterworld
on Virtual
on
Boy.
Virtual Boy.
It's like puking on a pile of shit.
Like puking on
Alright,
a pile
here we
of
go.
shit.
Ocean presents Waterworld. How
At least the
ironic.
music by.
Well, as far as the graphics
at least
go,
the music
too bad they
is,
couldn't use
really
the color
cool.
blue. I mean, they had two choices for the water. It could have been red or black. Well, at least they chose black because if it was red, we'd be calling it Blood World.
Nowadays, we'd call it Iron Lung.
Either way, it looks like shit.
It does look like
I
shit.
hope I don't get
The
struck
object
down.
of the game is just to shoot
the might
everybody
of
and rescue the
Zeus.
people. It's basically a
Oh, it
remake
doesn't
of
cover-
Defender. There's not really any goal other than getting a high score, which
Save
really
all the
helps since it doesn't
ATOLers.
save any data. There's actually a 9-player mode, which I honestly
Oh my
find
god,
hard to believe.
why?
Could you imagine passing the Virtual Boy around a room to 8 other people? I'd rather drink Kevin Costner's recycled piss water. Waterworld is
Delicious.
the only movie-based game on Virtual Boy. And
Wow.
doesn't it seem like a match made in heaven? It's a perfect
Really?
analogy. An over-budget, overhyped movie turned into a game on a gimmicky, overpriced anal atom bomb of a console exploding with diarrhea.
I mean, Waterworld
No,
also came
that's
out on
it.
other
The Virtual Boy
plays.
was such a flop,
other-
it died in less than a year.
Damn.
Yeah, and I didn't pick these games. This is all of them.
That's
I just
the
reviewed
entire
every
North
Virtual
American
Boy game to be
library.
released in North America. That's right. I am
Crazy.
holding the entire library of games for this piece of shit in my one hand, with the exception of Jack Brothers, which is rare, expensive, and probably not worth jack shit. Now, to be fair, most of the games are...
Unfortunately, he doesn't review Jack Bros in this one, but if you don't know what Jack Bros is, it's arguably one of the best Megami Tensei games, and I'm fucking lying. Of course it's not. It is the first Megami... It is technically the first Megami Tensei game to come out in the US. Hello, Tinky. Welcome. Hey, how you doing? All right, let me just wrap
but they're
it
the
up.
same kind of games you might as well be playing on a regular TV screen. I mean, they tried to take advantage of some 3D elements, but this wasn't called 3D Boy. It was called Virtual Boy. Now, they didn't even attempt a virtual reality concept.
Oh, they
What it needed was some first-person shooter games, like Doom. That would have
I
been
mean,
awesome.
it runs
Now,
Doom.
it's been about 10 years. The technology's gotten better, but nobody really gives a shit about virtual reality anymore. And maybe that's for the best.
Wow. That aged somehow really great and really badly because, yeah, virtual reality is pretty cool now, but unfortunately, once again, unless you invested tons into either VTubing or VR chat or both, yeah, nobody gives a shit about VR anymore. Unless we get Omni movers, unless we get stationary movers, consumer grade stationary movers, we'll never, well, but yeah, once again, another shout out to Digino Gaming because the story of the Virtual Boy is very interesting. James said they didn't attempt to do 3D. They actually did. Gunpei Yokoi wanted to make the Virtual Boy. He not only wanted to make it virtual, he wanted to make it, he wanted XR. He wanted the Virtual Boy to be XR. Like you can just go out in the daytime or at night and you can see little critters and you can interact with them with these goggles, but due to a lot of safety regulations and a lot of things, and a lot of stuff like that, it got gimped super heavily by the time it came out. It got massively gimped super hardcore, which is a shame, which is such a shame, really. It's a shame, to be honest. But yeah, the Virtual Boy, what could have been the ultimate potential console. Once again, Digino Gaming had a whole trilogy. It had a trilogy of videos that they made. They made a trilogy of videos detailing Gunpei Yokoi and his career with Nintendo from his early years to the Game Boy to the Virtual Boy, and then eventually the conception of the Wonder Swan, and of course to his untimely death, which, by the way, may have actually been a hit by Nintendo themselves, because yeah, they're those kind of people. They have killed before. They'll do it again. What did we learn from this? Absolutely nothing. Somehow the Virtual Boy returned. Yep. Absolutely. Aged like a fine wine. I had a friend in high school who loved the Virtual Boy and played the thing constantly. He now wears the thickest glasses I've ever seen. Not only has Bubsy made a full return from the abyss of forgotten video game characters, but the Virtual Boy is his partner in crime. God damn. But yeah, the moral of the story is, Yeah, you should still try the Virtual Boy, even though it kind of sucks.